where you want it.
Bay 12, please.
Hello there, Transformers fans, and welcome back to another Bay 12 video review. And today's video features the new Studio Series number 105 Deluxe Class Mirage from Transformers Rise of the Beasts, and the new Core Class Exosuit Noah Diaz figure, aka Sonic, from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Also, figured we'd do these two together, because why not, right? I mean, technically, they're both also Mirage, so yeah, why not? We're going to go ahead and start off with Mirage first. Here he is in the packaging. You've got some awesome artwork of him in robot mode there on the front. On the side, you've got a close-up of him in robot mode. On this side, you've got another shot of him in robot mode, but not as close. And you'll notice in all of the artwork, he's got this battle mask up, which I assume was from concept art because we didn't see that in the final film either. On the back, you've got some images of both him in robot mode, and yep, they did get licensed through Porsche to actually make it look like the Porsche in the movie. And I gotta say ahead of time, the Porsche mode looks fantastic. The robot mode could look a little bit better, more due to lack of paint than anything else, but more on that when we're actually looking at it out of the packaging. Anyway, that's pretty much it for his packaging. And here is Mirage out of the packaging, and he looks absolutely fantastic aside from the lack of a lot of paint detail on his robot mode. I will, however, give praise because they did fix the deco on the head. Originally, the head was going to be metallic gray or metallic black where they're supposed to be blue. So the head was almost completely the wrong color. And we actually got his face instead of the battle mask, so I also really like that as well. Now, I don't recall Hasbro saying anything about them almost doing the battle mask head sculpt or not, but I'm really glad we got his actual face instead of just a battle mask head sculpt that we didn't see on screen, because that definitely would have bugged me. A lot of lack of detail here. There should be a lot of different things painted in here. The thigh plates are the wrong color, a lot of missing paint here. I mean, these are supposed to be his headlights in robot mode, but you can't tell because they're just solid gray plastic. Really, my only gripes about this figure is the lack of paint in robot mode. In alt mode, he looks fantastic. That's definitely where all of the paint budget went on this figure, was making sure the alt mode look on point, because it definitely does. And I think a lot of that has to do with they probably paid a lot of money for that Porsche license, and I'd be willing to bet part of the agreement was they had to make his Porsche mode look absolutely fantastic. And it does. But unfortunately, the robot mode definitely suffered for it because of that lack of paint detail. Even his blaster hand. His swappable little blaster here, just solid gray plastic. It is missing all of the detail. There's just almost none there whatsoever, which is a real shame. He is fully articulated. Head is on a ball joint. Fully articulated shoulders, in and out. Upper bicep, single jointed elbows, wrist swivel. Waist, hips, upper thigh, single jointed knees. Ankles are on a ball joint. You can articulate his foot up, mostly due to transformation. And that's pretty much it for articulation. Before we get to transformation, however, usually I would just jump right into it, but I do still want to compare him to Noah first, so we're just going to set him aside for now. Here is Noah Diaz Exosuit in the packaging, and I'm really happy we got a Noah Diaz Exosuit figure. I was wondering if we were going to get one because he definitely wore it in the movie. It looked really cool. He was a big part of the final battle, and I really liked his character a lot, and fingers crossed that if and when we get the G.I. Joe movie, that he's in the G.I. Joe movie. I really, really hope he joins G.I. Joe, because that was such an awesome, awesome ending to the movie. And just bringing in G.I. Joe right off the bat, in my opinion, was a very good move. And who knows, maybe they'll actually have a good movie this time. I mean, yes, the first two, Rise of Cobra and Retaliation, are fun in parts and definitely have a charm to them, But let's be honest with ourselves. They weren't great. And I haven't met a single person who said a nice thing about the Snake Eyes movie, so we don't even need to talk about that one. So there he is in the packaging, open window packaging, Noah Diaz, artwork on the card there. On the back, you've got some images of him in robot mode and the glider alt mode, because since it's a Transformers toy and he's a human character, they had to make him transform into something, even though he didn't need to transform into anything. I would have much rather Hasbro saved the money trying to engineer a faux alt mode for this figure and just put it all into the paint budget, because he's also missing a lot of paint detail. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the packaging. And here is Exosuit Noah out of the packaging. And he's not a bad little figure. Decent articulation, looks kind of cool, not very screen accurate looking. I mean, some of the molded bits look kind of screen accurate looking, but paint job wise, this is not very close. We're pretty well off here on the paint deco here. There's should be significantly more blues and more silvers on this figure than we ended up with, and I know a lot of collectors are going to end up having to repaint this figure, which is a shame because, well, you know, I'm still of the opinion that a collector shouldn't have to finish their figure when they already bought it from the manufacturer. But I digress. You can remove this silly little wing pack glider thing that he didn't have in the movie. And again, if I had to choose between this and more paint, I'm going to choose more paint because he didn't transform, so the toy doesn't need to transform. Yes, I get it. That's for the kid appeal, but when I was a kid, I liked my figures to look like the characters on screen more than if they had extra play gimmicks that I was just going to toss aside regardless. So that's just me. I know not every person's the same, not every kid is the same, but I know a lot of collectors care more about screen accuracy than they do this kind of thing. So, you know, more paint would have been nice, is all I'm saying. He is fully articulated, head is on a ball joint, fully articulated shoulders, single jointed elbows. You can take the little blaster off of his hand, but he did actually transform his hand into a blaster. You got this cool little sword, this little arm blade here, which he also had in the movie, so that's really cool that they included that. Waist is on a ball joint, hips, single jointed knees, and ankle joints also all on ball joints. That face sculpt is also very inaccurate, although I don't mind it. Honestly, them trying to print Noah Diaz's face on this would have probably looked a little wonky, so I get why they went with a visor. It's definitely a simpler solution than just trying to do his face and then it maybe looking really weird or off. So I don't mind that choice so much, although the helmet is supposed to be blue and silver, and it's gunmetal gray. It looks cool in gunmetal gray, but not very accurate. For comparison, here they are standing side by side, so you can see them standing together, and they look really awesome side by side. Now, there is one really cool thing you can do with this silly little piece right here. Now, a lot of Transformer fans out there have never played the original Transformers Armada video game on PlayStation 2, and it shows, because I haven't seen anybody on social media take pictures of this. So, as far as I know, I guess I'm the first to point this out. But you can take this right here, and you can take the new Legacy Evolution Armada Prime here, and some of you are probably starting to see where I'm going with this. Take the Autobot symbol that pegs onto Optimus's back and take it off. And I like to think that Hasbro did this specifically for this reason on Legacy Armada Optimus, so that you could take this right here and plug it directly onto his back and have the Slipstream, I believe is the name of that Minicon upgrade from the original Transformers Armada video game. And now you have the glider wings. Now, does it look totally like it did in the game? No. But it looks better on this than this. So there's that. All right, now it's time for Mirage's transformation. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove his little arm cannon here. He just holds it in his hand, basically just pegs on right there. Next, we're going to extend these arms and kind of get them out of the way a little bit. We're going to pull on this back section and lift up this little section right here. And then we're going to come over here to the arms. We're going to untab them from the torso there and kind of bring them down just a little bit. Then we're going to bring these wheels forward. We're going to come over here. We're going to tab this section in like so. And then we're going to untab the chest, grab these two sections right here, pull them apart, bring that up over the head, and tab that all into place. And there's kind of the front of the car just about all done. Next, we're going to come over here to the back. We're going to grab this waist section. There's this double hinge joint where the waist kind of collapses right here, and we're going to pull on that and extend all the way out like so. Rotate his waist all the way around. We're going to do a full 360, and then we're going to, on that secondary hinge joint, bring the waist down all the way at like a 90-degree angle, and it's going to look like so. So it just sits right there. Next, we're going to go ahead and come over here to the arms. We're going to rotate this fender section forward, and then we're just going to tab that into place, maneuver that arm, because there's that window right there. That's where that arm sits. Do the same thing over here. Bring that up. Tab that arm into place. There we go. Like so. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to rotate these feet around. We're going to rotate this fender. We're going to tab that foot section and that fender in. Then on this double joint, we're going to rotate this down and then rotate on that other joint all the way up, putting the wheel into place under the fender. And then we're going to rotate this little side panel that says Porsche on the side and articulate the knee joint so that it lines up and tabs into place right here. And then we're just going to bring it up into position right there and tab it in. And that's one side of the car pretty much all the way done. Do the same thing over here. We're going to articulate that up, connect these two bits together, bring up that wheel section, bring up that fender section, and then work that knee, get them tabbed together, tab that into place, and then we're going to tab the back of what were the heels together. We're going to bring this section down, articulate that roof piece up, bring that into place, and then tab this rear section into place around the fenders and at the back, and then just kind of make sure you re-tab any pieces that might have come undone on you, because things sometimes shift. Before we fold the feet in, weapon storage. Take this right here. It's going to, with these two little tabs, plug in right here. Just fits right in between the thighs of the alt mode, like so, and then just fold in the feet. And there is Mirage in his Porsche mode. And it looks absolutely fantastic. I have no complaints in detail on this Porsche mode here. They nailed it. Like I said, all of the paint budget went into the alt mode on this figure. And it shows. Because The Porsche mode looks absolutely fantastic and screen accurate, and the robot mode is just missing a little bit, which isn't a big deal, but it is. Noah is much simpler to transform. You're just essentially folding up a guy underneath a glider wing backpack suit thingy. You'll see what I mean in a second. What we're going to do first is we're going to rotate that head on a ball joint all the way around. We're going to bring up this piece right here on his back. We're going to bring down this piece. Tab in the legs. They're going to tab in right there on the back. Fold back the feet. And then remove the cannon from the arm. Tab in the arms to the back. This little peg is going to go right in there. Tab that onto the front. Spread out the wings. And that's it. Just a guy on the bottom of a glider wing jetpack thingy. That's all he is. Nothing special, nothing fancy. He's just a little plane. I mean, it's all right. It's okay. It's cool. Completely unnecessary for this character, but yeah, it's still a neat figure. It's still a neat toy. And for comparison, here they are side by side from all of those moments in the movie where you didn't see him flying by Mirage because Mirage became his exosuit. So yeah, still really cool though. And since I forgot to do it earlier, here is Mirage on his Studio Series backdrop. Honestly, I'm kind of glad I forgot because it looks cooler with him in his alt mode on this backdrop than he does in his robot mode. Just having the shops right there in the background like that of New York looks really cool. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's review featuring the new Transformers Studio Series number 105 Mirage from Transformers Rise of the Beasts and Core Class Exosuit Noah Diaz, also from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Could they have looked a little bit better in robot mode with some paint? Absolutely. But overall, both figures I think are pretty cool. And even though I don't really care for the wing glider gimmick thing, whatever you want to call it, that attaches to his back, I'm glad they made it removable. And I'm really glad that it looks cool on another figure that they probably didn't expect it to look cool on. Stay tuned for more Transformers reviews. Like and subscribe and follow us on social media. Check out our sister channel, Cool Toy Review, and check out the main website, cooltoyreview.com, for all kinds of awesome toy-related news, reviews, and more. If you're looking for some awesome Transformers toys, collectibles, and merch, come by our physical location inside Order 66 Multiverse in the shops at Willowbend Mall in Plano, Texas, which also houses Order 66 Toys, the world's official all-collectible Star Wars toy store. And in case you're not local, they go live every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central Time, and they ship all around the world. If you like Star Wars content, check out rebelscum.com, the world's oldest and largest Star Wars fan website not owned by Disney. And like and subscribe to the rebelscum.com YouTube channel for all kinds of awesome Star Wars related toy reviews and more. Check out collectorsoracle.com, our free archival website. Now, it doesn't have any Transformers on it currently. It's mostly all Star Wars right now, but we are adding more lines into the future, and it's absolutely free to use. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. Transform and roll out.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.